So in this segment, we're going to be discussing more polling which shows the Tories are going to get absolutely hammered in this election. So this is from Sky News. Then we'll go on to discuss some stuff from Faisal Islam.
The last push, the final seats, and Rishi Sunak is in a seat that on paper should be safe.
That's right. 100 years, Sophie, 100 years since the seat was created, and it has never been anything other than Conservative. Yet that is the seat where Keir Starmer was yesterday and Rishi Sunak was today. That seat appears, from the behaviour of the party leaders, to be in play. Look, after travelling back from Banbury, I've been...
That's something, Phil's talked about. There are no safe Tory seats. There are safer Tory seats, but there are no safe Tory seats. And that seems very believable. I don't know how popular Sunak is in his constituency. I doubt he's very popular. And that's where you can see problems. If his voters decide to stay home and people vote tactically, they can get rid of him. And that would be a huge kind of a landmark moment that a Prime Minister lost their seat. I think the closest thing I've seen to that is the Deputy Prime Minister under the coalition government, Nick Clegg, when he lost his seat.
Phoning round Tories just to gauge the mood. One member of the government was a bit worried that he might win. I mean,
Sorry, what?
he was saying to me, I mean, at this rate, I just want to lose, and he was a bit concerned that some polls were showing him in second place
Because it's so gloomy.
because the outlook for the party is so gloomy. He just wants to get out.
He just resign, just leave. No one's making you stay.
Another former Tory MP, now a candidate, was saying, look, there is a bit of a better reception on the doorstep in the last few days, but the polls suggest I'm going to lose, and so I'm going to have to take that to heart. And we've just had a polling projection, this one from Survation. Sophie, that puts the Tories on less than three figures, Tory MPs, in the next Parliament. It puts the number of Tory MPs from Friday on 64. That is incredible. That is a quarter of the number of MPs that the Conservative Party had in 2019. It would be a wipeout. Now, this is one of several polling projections. The big one, tomorrow, you and me, in this studio, the MRP from YouGov, that will be a big and important moment. Do these ones matter? Could they be right? Well, I know Tories who are feeding into the campaign saying, these are the kind of numbers that we're expecting too. It is looking very bad indeed.
It's looking like it's possibly going to be a complete disaster for them. They might not be in second place, but it is likely that they will be if we look at the polling. But I don't think there are going to be a ton of Tory voters that come out to vote. That's sort of the thing. So if you don't get your voter base out, you will lose. It's guaranteed. And so Rishi Sunak is not going to get his voter base out, and that's one of the reasons why they kept losing in so many by-elections. It wasn't just people switching to the Lib Dems. It was Tory voters just not turning out. So, Rishi Sunak saying stop the supermajority, vote Conservative on the 4th of July. So it's clear they're playing for second. But he was also the same guy claiming that a hung parliament is in reach. And I don't know if he's doing the white powder with Michael Gove. But you best stay away from that, Rishi. This is the official account. It's not even the parody account. You think it's the parody account. So let's have a look at the numbers first. This from Survation. So they're saying Labour 99% certain to win more seats than in 97. So probabilistic, is that even a word? Seat count. Labour 484, that's a huge majority. Conservatives on 64, the Lib Dems on 61, the SNP on 10, which is nuts. That one there it would be very scary for the SNP there to be on 10 seats. Reform on 7, that's a nightmare. Plaid Cymru on 3, and then Greens on 3. That's a decent result for Greens. They'll be tripling the amount of MPs that they have. But the SNP only on 10. That's a nightmare. But you've got the Conservatives will potentially be the party of opposition. It depends how things play out. I think if the Lib Dems had a better leader, they would be in a better position to win, I think, because they could actually get out more voters to support them. I just don't think Ed Davies got at him, honestly. But if we go to what Faisal Islam was saying, he goes, staggering final MRP poll from the company that correctly and to much mocking predicted the 2017 hung parliament. Still only a poll, but some of it chimes with intel on Labour shifting canvassing targeting to leafy Cheshire and true blue South Coast seats, and calls Truss loss. So the potentially Liz Truss losing her seat. So it should be interesting. On them wanting Rishi Sunak out or whatever. I mean, even if he stays on as an MP, he's going to California. Like, he's going to spend most of his time in California. Let's be honest. He's going to be on the speech circuit and doing things like that. We've seen other MPs just live abroad, really, barely come into Parliament, barely do any constituency work. That's what he would do if he stays on as an MP, I think, if he does somehow manage to hold on to his seat. But this polling is very interesting. We'll probably do the big YouGov one, and I'll release that on Thursday. I will see how that one goes. But for now, it's not looking good for the Conservative Party, but that's not a surprise to anyone. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.